Good afternoon and welcome to our show Spotlight. I am Athena, your host from Toronto. We are live on Facebook and YouTube. You can also watch us on www.tropicaljamstudios.com. And also a very happy Father's Day to all those who are celebrating Father's Day today. Today I have the honor to welcome Zoila Lewis. So, who is Zoila Lewis? She's originally from Jamaica and she has been living in Canada for more than 2 decades. She is in the financial industry, really passionate and well versed. And today she will be talking about our DSP. We will learn a lot from her. Whenever I have a conversation with her, I learn a lot. So then I decided, why not inviting Zoila to the show so that she can share the information to us. Help me welcome Zoila Lewis. Good
Thank
afternoon,
you.
Zoila.
Thank you, Sheila. Thank you very much for having me.
Oh, you're welcome. Actually, it's a pleasure having you, and thank you for sparing your time and coming here to share about RDSP.
It is my pleasure anytime. We're here to help families, and educating families is one of my passion. So this is a gem of a product, and not a lot of people are aware of it. So I thank you for the opportunity to share it with your listeners and just to get the word out there because we, as I said before, we're here to help families prosper and grow.
Exactly, and every time we speak, you it's the same thing where you're always saying, I want to help families. I want to help individual out there. That's awesome. Keep doing what you're doing, and I know you love helping others. Zoila, tell us today, what is RDSP?
Great question. Thank you very much. So the RDSP, it stands for Registered Disability Savings Plan. So we shorten it RDSP, and it offers benefits that are too good to ignore. So I just want to thank you for having me to share this with your listeners. It's created by the government, the federal government, right? And the RDSP provides people with disability with the an easy and effective way to save and invest for their long-term financial security, right? Because if you think about it, people who are disabled, what's going to happen to them long term, right? Our families saving, for their disabled loved ones' long term future, right? So
Mm-hmm.
this is one of the products that are offered by the federal government to help people who have a disability. And as I said before, save for their long term financial future.
Okay, so what are the benefits, of opening this account?
Yeah, so there are many advantages, to opening this account, right? So one of the things about this account is that, as I said, it's for disabled individuals, right? For their long-term future. But it also is saved, whatever you put into this account is saved tax free. So there's no tax on the interest that you earn in this account. Okay.
Okay.
But there's also monies that the government gives when you contribute to this account. So they give something called grants and what are called bonds, right? And you know, sometimes we have plans and stuff, and they'll affect other things like ODS, the old age security, and your Canada pension plan. This account does not affect clients in that way. Those other accounts is a separate account. It's independent of any other savings account. And one of these things that whatever you save is tax deferred. right? So it's tax taken later at the disabled's marginal tax rate. So those are some of the benefits of the RDSP for families.
That's interesting that it doesn't act as a variable towards, the pension. Really good to
Yeah,
know. Yeah.
right.
And who can take advantage of an RDSP?
Oh, that's a good question. Anyone who can claim what's called a disability tax credit may be eligible to be a beneficiary of the RDSP. So you also must be a Canadian resident. You need to have a valid social insurance number. You need to be under the age of 60 years. And as I mentioned before, you have to qualify for what's called a disability tax credit. So I'll just um, expand a little on the disability tax credit,
Sure.
right? So the disability tax credit is a form that you fill out. It's available on the CRA website. The form is T2201, right? And you fill that out along with the assistance of a qualified practitioner, maybe your doctor, or somebody like that will help you to fill this out, your speech language therapist, your audiologist, those kind of people can help you to fill out this disability tax credit. So those are the people who can benefit from this. But most importantly, the person has to qualify for this disability tax credit to apply for this account.
Thank you so much for this information. Again, can you tell us the form, the name of the form? Those watching, that would be good for
Okay,
them.
so it's the form T2201. So you can find this on the CRA website.
Okay.
Or your tax accountant also might be able to help you to find this form also.
Amazing. Thank you so much for this information, Zoila. So, are there any government incentives and contributions in regards to this account?
Yes, there is definitely. As I mentioned before, there is the grant that the government gives. So when you contribute, the government will match whatever you contribute, right? So the maximum the government will contribute is 3,500 per month, per year, sorry,
It's fine, it
per
happens
year,
per
okay?
year.
Per year, right? So just an example, I mean, if one family is contributing $125 per month, which equals 1,500 per year, the government will match that by giving them 3,500. Okay, so this is
Well,
so impressive, right? This is like more than 100% of what you contribute if you contribute the 1,500 per month. That's not that to say that that's the maximum or you have to contribute. If you have a smaller budget, you definitely can contribute smaller, but to get the maximum of the benefit, that the 3,500, that's what you would contribute. Also, there is what's called the government bonds, right? That the government also gives to qualified individuals, especially people who are low income earners. The government does provide this additional grant, if your salary range is a particular amount. If you're considered low income family, that's how you get the grant. So if you do qualify, the bond is $1,000 per annum, right? So think about it. You're contributing 1,500. The government is also matching that with 3,500. Plus, you qualify for the grant for the bond also. So that's what 4,500 that you're getting for the government because you're contributing 1,500. So that's amazing. I mean, even if people can't afford to contribute, but at least set up the account, they will get this bond every year to their account. So that's like a win-win situation.
Exactly. And when I'm thinking of the numbers, that's great. And then when people are contributing, are able to contribute, but their money is growing also at the same time. So many things happening.
That's so true. That's something that I missed out too. I mean, because these are invested, right? They're just not put in an account and we're just putting money to it. It's invested. So your money plus the government's grant plus the bonds are being invested, and that's that interest that is being generated from all those contributions that are put into the account.
Actually, my you've answered my next question about the grants and bonds. Wow, you're really ahead, huh, Zoila?
We have to stay ahead of the game.
Amazing. Wow. And Zoila, who can contribute to this account?
Well, anyone can contribute, but they must have the permission of that person who's disabled, right? So the parents can contribute for their disabled loved ones, even institutions that house children, foster families, foster care people can set up this account for their loved ones, or even the disabled person themselves, but that person would have to be about 19 years or older to set up that account for themselves, right?
So I have also a question. What is the age limit? Is there any age limit? Because I know for other plans, there is a age limit. Sorry. What about this account?
Yeah, so for this account, you have to set up this account before you're age 59, right? But what we encourage people to do is set up this account as soon as possible, right? Because you want to maximize on the bond and the grants that the government gives, okay? So at an early age, if parents are able to just set up the account to maximize on the bonds and the grants, right? And also, one important thing to remember, to note, is that at age 49, at the end of the year, the person becomes age 49, the bonds and the grants will stop, right? Okay. So yes, you have up to age 59 to do this, but to really maximize on it, we encourage you to start contributing early, right? And also remember that the bonds and the grants that come from the government will stop at the end of the year that the person becomes 49.
Thank you so much for these numbers, for this information that you have provided. And I wanted to talk about also, to ask you about the types of withdrawal. What are the types of withdrawal permitted in this account?
There are two types of withdrawals, right? But one of the things I just want to mention about the withdrawals, which is quite important, is that by the year the person becomes age 60, the end of that year, they have to start taking the withdrawals, right? Okay. So by that age, you can take it any time, but we encourage people to leave it until they become older, age 60, right? To maximize on the bonds and the grants. Because if you take it too early, you'll have to pay back the bonds and the grants to the government, right? Okay. So if the account, if you have it until the government bonds and grants stop at age 49, right? Then you stop contributing at age 59. So that 10-year gap, then you have to start taking the money at the age of 60. If you do that and follow that plan, then there's no clawback, as we call it in the industry, of bonds and grants that you have to pay back, right? So It's just sitting with a financial professional like myself and going through these things. We're just touching the surface today, so then we're not going into
Mm-hmm.
the full details,
Detail.
right? But what I want people to understand is that yes, you can take the money at any time, but we don't want you to have to pay back the
Pay.
bonds and the grants that the government gives. So we're saying to you, pressing up on you, wait until you're a little older, and then you can maximize on it, and all that is yours. Even though when they're paying it, when you're paying it out, the disabled person would have to pay some tax, right? But that's usually very, very minimal or none at all, right? So those are how we withdraw draw the RDSP.
Thank you so much, Zoila, and we will continue our conversation after this commercial break. So we are back with Zoila, and she's talking about RDSP, the benefits of what is an RDSP, sorry, the advantages of opening an RDSP, who can contribute towards an RDSP. So we've covered lots of subtopics regarding RDSP, and we were discussing about the withdrawal, and what Zoila was advising us is to wait, to avoid any clawback. Right, Zoila?
Right, important. And just something that I had missed, well, we talk about clawback, but not on that. Let's say the person was disabled 2 years ago and um, had the disability tax credit 2 years ago, but they've only set up the account this year. They can go back, and the government will send them a letter to say, hey, if you contribute that amount, you can get the grants and the bonds from the previous years. So you can play catch up also. So those are one of the some of the other benefits of doing the plan also, because you have that ability to play catch up,
Mm-hmm.
so you can get the bonds and the grants for the previous years, which you never had the account, because the government gives you that ability. So I mean, this is like a gem of a plan that people need to put in place, because there's so much incentive that is coming from the government, plus the additional interest that you will make on the investments that these monies are invested in. So that's quite important also.
Really important, and extremely important to know that you have room for contribution if you've missed it
Yes,
last year. Like you
well said.
gave a really good example regarding if someone missed, he can catch up.
Yes.
Anything else you want to add? Maybe I've missed, I didn't ask question for RDSP, or we've covered
I think we've
everything.
covered enough. We don't want to confuse people or
Overwhelm.
anything like that, overwhelm them. But I mean, the important thing is to start and the information that we give. So that's why we're passionate. I know yourself too, passionate about helping families, right?
True.
Is to start and to just know the information that's out there to help you. So if anybody wants further information about this, my phone number is on the screen. It's 647-818-5085. I'll go slow. Sorry, let me go slow. 647-818-5085. Contact me and I'll give you more information about the RDSP. It is something that is going to help our families who are disabled in the future. And you want to set up something for them because we all know there's so much medical advancements that are helping our families who are disabled right now. So, setting up these plans for their long-term benefit is also good. Just also, I just wanted to add, I mean, if the person recovers from this disability, then the government wants back their money. I'm so sorry, but you're healthy and well now, you're not disabled anymore. You have to give the government back their money. If you if when the person passes away, um also the plan stops if the person passes away before they reach age 60 to collect the money. Then the government wants back the bonds and the grants also. So if you're no longer a Canadian citizen also, you will lose the RDSP also. But this is a lot of information. I mean, just contact us, contact myself, contact Sheila, and I mean, we will direct you to the right person. And I mean, we are the right person, beg your pardon, and we can help you more with the RDSP, right?
Yes, that's really important, to know the plans that the government has set up for Canadian resident and citizens. I'm telling you, there are newcomers out there. There are also people who've been here, but unfortunately, they were not aware. They didn't have the proper financial education. They didn't get actually financial education. So I think it's really important that people are educated financially and know what is out there for them for their own benefits. When you were telling me about the grants, that's amazing, you know,
Mm-hmm.
like
Mm-hmm.
the 3,500 the government matches when you're contributing 125. This is the figure that per month that you were giving, so 1,500 annually, and
Mm-hmm.
plus you get the bonds. So
Mm-hmm.
that's great, because it helps
Yeah.
the family in the long
Mm-hmm.
run. We're talking
Mm-hmm.
about the long run.
Right.
Thank you.
Right. Right. Just like how we plan for vacation, plan big weddings, we need
Mm-hmm.
to put plans in place for our financial future, for families' financial, for our children's financial future, because, you know, we are living longer and we need to protect ourselves. And that's what we are about, protecting families, no family left behind. We don't want our disabled loved ones to be left behind. So, this plan is an amazing plan for them, plus the amazing education and, just the benefits that the government offers in this plan to help
Mm-hmm.
those who are disabled. So that's what we're here to do, is just educate people about these plans so that their future can be much better financially and otherwise.
That's true. Yeah, you've touched really an important point here. When we observe people in Canada, they are living longer because we have good health care and because of the standard of living. So we need really to plan an RDSP for those who are qualified for it. It's important to think about it for better
Yes.
planning. I won't take your time, Zoila. I know you're someone who is really busy. Thank you for giving us your time and informing us about RDSP. And
I
I
thank you,
hope,
Sheila, for having me.
oh, you're welcome. And those watching us, you can see Zoila's phone number on the screen. Feel free to reach out to her. If you can't get hold of her, please let me know. I will do the necessary to contact her. And yeah, stay tuned, and we will have other amazing topic that we're gonna discuss on Spotlight. Spotlight is about education and awareness. We want to equip the community. We want to equip everyone with education, knowledge, and awareness. So see you next time for another amazing show. Bye bye. Have a happy Sunday and
Happy
happy
Father's Day.
Father's Day.